Welcome to March 2023. This is the 7th time that I channel a month energy on the first of the month and that I then offer a video here. I always offer it with a healing session that is offered to my school members, my school students, and my Patreons. And if you'd like to receive that, I highly encourage you to join my Patreon for a little bit every month to support me and also have access to unseen videos. Let's say I offer every month a healing session that is never going to be released on YouTube, but I also started creating little documentaries and extra videos that I don't feel like sharing publicly around everyone because they're, sacred teachings and sacred experiences, personal experiences when working with deities or working with specific types of conscious awareness perceptions that feel like they're better served to a smaller community and to a space that is more private, more safe. So I'm releasing in March this month, I'm releasing a specific video after working with Sekhmet, who is an Egyptian goddess. And this video has taken me months to accomplish. It has also made me travel a few places in Paris for a few weeks multiple times, so that video is that condensation of discovery, travel, but also personal experiences with a spiritual guide, a mentor. And yeah, so this video, Sekhmet Changed My Life and How She Can Change Yours, is going to be released on Patreon, as well as the healing that follows this specific channeling. Back to YouTube. Just as we talk about Sekhmet, our cat decided to show up to the video. Do you want to come here? Do you want to say hi? I want to be as clear as possible, and it might not mean much, but to me it does. I've been channeling the Akashic Records for years, and it usually comes through saying specific words, having a specific prayers, and I've tried many different prayers, and I've also channeled my own prayers, whether they were in French or in English. I'm a French person, and they all worked and they all got me to the place, say, if we could think of it as a space. Sometimes that helps us humans to understand what it is, but to that frequency. And sometimes that frequency has a different oscillation, a different vibration, a different rhythm, if we think of it as a frequency like music. And different prayers take you to different part of the chorus, let's say, a different part of the song. And today I gathered up the usual prayer and I couldn't bring myself to use that prayer. So I know that I am within that frequency and I'm within channeling my highest self, and I just want to say that that's the basis of today's channeling. So we're channeling the collective, we're channeling for everyone that watches this video. That is always my intention, and we are channeling for the purpose of helping you guide through this month. So there's a few things that are huge blocks to today's channeling, and they are huge blocks to you watching it and receiving the energy as well. And because they came up, they are part of the story that comes today. And when I started channeling those energy forecasts, that's why I mentioned them at the beginning, it was in September, and September was the beginning of that Mars retrograde that was so significant. And now we are in March, and there is something with obviously those words looking like one another. In French, again, my language, this month is called Mars, which is even closer to what the planet or the god calls themselves, or is called by others, or the planet itself. So there's a cycle that comes through. So we started with September and now we are in March, and March also marks the end of the shadow period that the planet Mars. So when retrograde happens, the planet is always moving forward, but the way we interpret it as a human based on Earth, it feels like the planet is going backwards, which it isn't. And when we see it as moving backwards, which it isn't, again, it's a perspective, we call it retrograde, feeling like it's moving backwards. So understanding from that viewpoint, we saw March moving a certain way, then retrograding a certain way, and then moving forward again, but through the passage of what it did when it went backwards. It always moved forward, but that's just the way we saw it. So when we see a planet move through what it did backwards, again, we call it the shadow period, just so that that's clear. So in March, the planet Mars will have finished going through the shadow period. So it means that that whole cycle, that whole period that started kind of in August, but like really in September, all of that journey, months and months and months, closes up. That loop is finished, that chapter is kind of wrapping up. And that was massive because one, it affected the collective. Two, it's like the closest planets to us in order, you know, we've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus, us, hey, and then we've got Mars. Oh my god, I never made that connection, but we're literally between Venus and Mars. And we're here trying to learn to be the center and to be that neutral point between the divine feminine and masculine. Cool. So it affected the collective. It affected the collective in many ways, but it mostly affected the individual. And if you've had that loss of motivation, that loss of stamina that gets us going, if you've been reviewing a lot of the past, a lot of your actions, a lot of people's actions, if you've been really considering your route, you know, where you're going, your direction, where you've been wanting to go all this time, and how to maybe renew a few pieces of your experiences. I want to even say, I've said it in a previous video, you know, collecting, retrieving parts of your souls, and in more mainstream thing, I would say like reconnecting with parts of your old personalities, or the hobbies that you had, just a lot of things. It's highly possible that this happened and that right now you're kind of wrapping up the lesson and the emotional content of such things. So you gathered a lot of things and now it's that processing through the heart, like I mentioned in the previous video, but also like going all the way down into the root chakra, into the earth. So we're just really going through that cycle from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. So one of the blocks of today's channeling was the emotional processing of both the collective energy but also my own personal energy, and to see how I collected so much heartache that I didn't process in the moment for years. Many years of heartache, of feeling things and not allowing myself to process them and just discarding them on the side. I've been able to collect all of them back, or a lot of them, not all of them, including past lives, including past projects, past ambitions, and to really be connected with them again. And that looked a lot like meditations, with dreams, reading, with hobbies like I mentioned, but also just going through the archives, going through the hard drives, going through the photos, through the memories, going through a lot. And now that we're in March, and now that we're through those beginnings, we don't discard any of it anymore. We actually really get informed about our true emotional nature, our true mental nature, our true spiritual body that is made up of all those different layers. And we advance hand in hand with all of those selves that have been processed, that have been healing, that are healing. And that looks like something that I'm telling you through my story, but I know that a lot of people are going through this, and I know that the collective in general is going through this too. So it can look like, you know, different movies coming out, different news coming out, different discourses, articles, things that the world collective is going through. So you can zoom out of whichever country you live in and witness how those things that are international are having discussions around this, and are really getting connected again. And that's something that I saw here in Turkey, where a lot of different countries manifested their support and sent, you know, teams of people that could come and help for the earthquakes. And we can see that with a lot of other international discourses and events. So I wanted to let you know that we are starting something new. We are wrapping up an old chapter. We are becoming wider. Our body, our energy body, our consciousness is opening up. It's becoming more whole. And I really encourage you to find your footing, to find your grounding, to find a way to really not be so distressed about the thousands of things that are happening, and to find that cement that really binds you together. Thank you so much for watching. I highly encourage you to join my newsletter. This is where I connect with you maybe 2 to 3 times a month to keep you updated on what's going on and what are the things that you need to be aware of, because again, I don't have social media. And there's 2 things happening this month. There's one, I'm reopening my sessions. I stopped for a few months. I had a big break, and that was needed, as I really needed to contain my energy body in a way. So just for the ones that are new, I am a healer, I'm a psychic healer, I'm a Reiki teacher, and I'm clairsentient. So I have a few modalities like astrology, gene keys, and other ways of reading your energy that help me to really help you when you're in a transition, when you're going through something in your life where you need to check out the sources, to kind of find your footing, to ground, and to be motivated and strong and have resilience into going into something new. And I'm here to collect a lot of different informations, to listen to you, listen to your energy body, and offer you a healing. So I offer one-on-one sessions, and I also offer a month of sessions. And this little cat also comes with the sessions. He loves being here and purrs when I'm offering Reiki to my clients. So yeah, UT might be might be your healer too. And second, I am going to create a light language something. I've been thinking about it for a while, and there's a few options on how I'm going to deliver it. But yes, that's coming up. I've been offering free lessons based on my previous light language course, and I've transformed those courses into little lectures that I've been offering on this channel. You can check out that playlist. And I'm gonna go a little bit further and create something around light language and belonging. So yeah, so stay up to date for that. I'm very excited because I've had this in my heart since September again, and I needed a little bit of time because I knew that the channeling would come through a little bit later, and it has come now, so we're ready to deliver it. So thank you again to my patrons for helping me. Thank you to my school students, and I'll see you soon. Please like and comment on this video to help me continue to make this. Bye.